You're right, Anthony. Thanks for seeing me. It's wicked to finally meet you. Now, I enjoy my food, so I've decided on a career in catering. I thought you might be able to share with me some helpful tips or the best way in getting started or what I might need for the future in this industry.
Well, it depends which part of the catering industry you want to go into, of course. It's a massively diverse industry, you know, whether you're going into independent restaurant sector, hotel sector, whether you're going into canteen work, canteen cooking, you know, hospitals, prisons, whatever. There's loads of jobs out there.
Oh, that's good.
We're desperate for staff. So you're going to have no problem getting a job as long as you show one or two things.
Yeah?
Passion. If you're going to go into the cooking sector, we want passion. We want you to believe. You may not be very good at this stage, but if you believe you can be good, that is what we're looking for. We're looking for commitment. It's no good jumping from job to job. You know, you've got to try and stick with it. Build up a good CV, because it's going to be invaluable to you in your future. When you go for other jobs in other parts of the world, other parts of the country, having a good CV where you can be seen to stick with the job, not rushing from job to job to job, that will be invaluable.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing you've got to do, of course, is some training. Now, for me, as a restaurateur, I would prefer you came to work in my restaurant as a rookie. Just came to work. Just, you know, you start on very small tasks, build yourself up. But what I would suggest is you do a day release course at a college, which is government funded. You'll learn all your skills. If you were to do a full-time course in that college, which some chefs may suggest, by the way,
Really?
you will learn the skills and you'll learn how to cook, but you won't build up that energy, that enthusiasm you need for a restaurant, the speed. Then so many chefs, once they've done a course, go into the industry and they get lost because it's so frenetic, so fast, and they walk away and they've lost 2 years hard work. So be passionate, show commitment, get well trained, and don't take any nonsense from any employer, okay?
Oh, wicked, that's great. So, if I wanted to go into the restaurant trade, is an apprenticeship the best way? You know, who's going to do it for me? Do I have to speak to the hotel, or can I do it through the college?
Well, either really. I mean, we personally, our restaurant group runs training courses in conjunction with the college.
Oh, right.
Hotel and training, catering board, that sort of thing. That's the best way to go.
Really?
You can go to a college, and they will also organise it. If you say you've got a job, you need the job first, which is not always easy to get jobs. But I have to say, in this day and age, the catering industry, of all the employers out there, is always looking for staff. It's not on the decline. We're not shedding staff. We're trying to take on staff. So you're passionate, you're committed, you'll get a job.
Well, that's good, because I'm passionate and committed. But talking of passion, you know, how do you keep it? Some of my friends started out as a commis chef and have been working their way up, but they seem to have hit this grounding point where they don't seem to be getting anywhere and they're kind of losing interest. You know, what's the next step for them? Is it management or is it just perseverance?
Well, it's not like it was in the old days. I mean, the head chefs were rarely under 50. Now you get head chefs in their mid-20s.
Really?
Early 20s in some cases. So if you've got two options. You can work in, say, a Gordon Ramsay restaurant. Stick it for a year. Just stick it. You'll have to. It's good for your CV. Then you've got my sort of restaurant. Slightly less poncy, you know, more about ingredients, learning a bit about ingredients. Then you may go into a hotel where the hours tend to be easier, but you will only concentrate on one section of a menu. If you go into restaurants, you'll concentrate on all sections of the menu. You'll start off on starters, of course, hot and cold, but you'll then go on the main course. So you do everything in a restaurant, where in a hotel, it's very definitive areas of work. So you might be in the pastry section, you might be on the fish section, the sauce section. You can only get so far in one organisation. You know, once you become head chef, or once you become sous chef and you know the head chef's not going to leave, maybe it's time to move. But as long as you've had a period of time when you're proud of the work you've done, you've built up a good relationship with the employer won't be bitter if you leave. They'll give you a good reference.
Really?
And say, listen, one day you might come back to us, but I can see you're frustrated, you need to move on, you need to keep the passion going. Go and look in different areas. You know, there's the food service is massive. You know, whether you're actually producing the goods, whether you go into butchery, learn butchery skills, or whether you go into the fish area of fish, learn the fish skills.
Oh, right.
But it's great to have an all-round training. If you want to work
Yeah.
and learn and one day own your own restaurant, You really have to learn every single department. And it's important sometimes. I get my chefs, and it's not always the best thing to do, but I get my chefs to go out on the floor and actually serve some of the customers. And that builds their confidence skills as well, because cooking, as is in life really, is all about confidence.
I love cooking and preparing food. It comes naturally. But what about business? You know, you have your own restaurant, so you must have had to have some kind of business training, or did you just learn this and pick it up as you became more successful?
Well, I did it back to front. My grandmother refused to let me become a chef because she said, darling, people downstairs do that sort of thing. She was quite posh. But actually, I did a management degree in hotel and catering management. And then I've always loved cooking, so I wanted to do that. But learning those skills definitely did me a favour. You know, you have to learn about your profit margins, your percentages, your staff ratios, all those sort of things, which any head chef will teach you,
Right.
as long as you ask. And as long as he's not one of those old-fashioned chefs that's very secretive and won't give away his top tips. If he is, you're not in the right place, because it's up to us head chefs to constantly be teaching and constantly be delegating so that people learn. Don't keep things secret. Go on, express yourself. Let it all out. Teach them. That is the key to life, teaching. Because one day, they'll be up there and they'll look after you probably. So always remember, on the way up, make sure you're being looked after. On the way down, make sure you're looking after the people who are on the way up, because one day they may be your boss.